Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Habari Ghani, if you know, you know. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. Check it out, Rep Your City. Give me a replay, gang, if you're checking out the replay. Today's word of the day is Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. Ujima is a Kwanzaa principle. I don't know how many of y'all know about Kwanzaa. It's foundation is a bit questionable, I'll admit. You know, we're not sure who this cat Ron Brown was, but what we know is that these elements that are in Kwanzaa were built around helping us to grow our self-esteem, helping us to realize what are some of the elements it takes to achieve success in this crazy world where all the odds are stacked against you if you are melanated. I ain't scared to say it, and I hope you ain't scared to notice it. The odds are sort of stacked against you when you have the complexion of rejection. Well, we're changing that. And we're not changing that by changing the world. We're changing that by changing ourselves. And so I want to welcome you to Millionaire Minded. Please rep your city. Let them know where you're from. Let them know what kind of business you have. Let them know how it helps people. That's the important part. Like not what do you do for a living, but what do you do for a life? You know what I'm saying, Chanel? Young Coco in the house. Let's get it. What's up, Miss Newbie? How you feel? Appreciate you tagging Mary. I hope she hear you, girl. I hope she hear you. What's up, Michelle? Naraya made it in. Make sure that y'all like this. Can I get some likes? Can I get some likes and some hearts and all of that? I remember when we was doing Periscope, it was all about that. Keisha. What's up, Keisha? Yeah, give me some hearts, man. Let them know you in the house. Let them know where you at. My man Digital Daryl just made it in. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, man, helping businesses build credit is a beautiful thing. Check it out, y'all. Make sure you like this thing, comment, share. We're going to get started in less than 120 seconds. About to get this party rolling. Please make sure that you share this on your page if you know someone who's part of a team or you know someone who is looking to build a better team. This is going to be a good one for them because Ujima is collective work and responsibility. Any of y'all ever heard of Kwanzaa? These 7 principles that are sort of supposed to guide us as a culture, but check it out. It also guides us as entrepreneurs. I am a huge believer that the key to increasing human potential is increasing entrepreneur mindset, because an entrepreneur is not a business owner. A lot of people get this twisted. Just like a business owner is not an entrepreneur. Y'all ever heard me teach on this before? The Harvard definition of an entrepreneur is one who pursues opportunity without regard to the resources currently controlled. You know what I mean? In other words, an entrepreneur makes something out of nothing. So what's entrepreneur mindset? Entrepreneur mindset is all about pursuing the opportunity to serve without regard to the resources currently controlled. Now, that's not the Harvard definition. That's the Haziq Ali definition. But check it out, baby. It works. Let's argue. You know what I mean? If you don't believe it, debate me. Let's go. But we about to get this party started. Let me call in on the winners hotline. Let's go, y'all. 7 keys to building a better team. Y'all ready? 7 keys to building a better team. Let's get it.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you.
That's a fact, y'all. Y'all ready? Share this with somebody you love.
Please announce yourself.
We about to get it. Hold up.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Yeah, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. And Habari Ghani, if you know, then you know. Today's word of the day is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujima. Somebody want to type that in? Ujima. You spell it Ujima. Ujima. You feel me, Alan? Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, Linda, I'm glad you made it in. Rose made it in. What's up, Michelle? Hey, you better let them know. You better let them know about that international real estate career. You know what I mean? You better let them know. Appreciate that, Chelsea. Ujima. That means collective work and responsibility. Somebody type in the word Ujima and give me a share, People need to know this stuff, because if you want to increase your entrepreneurial mindset, these Kwanzaa principles ain't nothing. You know, I ain't saying they everything, but I'm gonna tell you something. They definitely ain't nothing. So this morning, that's what I want to talk about. How can you build more collective work and responsibility? You know, most people define teamwork loosely. If you were to ask them, Ujima. If you were to ask them what is teamwork, then they'll probably give you something like a cooperative process that allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. I got an acronym for you. Team equals together, each achieves more. Ain't that cool? Together, each achieves more. Check it out. I really believe that. I really believe that teamwork makes the dream work. I really believe that if you can do it by yourself, you really ain't doing much. I really believe that whole big old book about entrepreneurship that they call the Bible, or that whole big old book about entrepreneurship that they call the Quran, or that big old book about entrepreneurship they call the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it. But the one that the Indians, dots not feathers, the one they read, right? The Sanskrit joint. I believe all these joints is about entrepreneurship, and I believe these are all big old books about how to network better, how to create a better team. I believe that if you can create a better team, you can conquer the world. I believe that you do not have the ability to dream a dream you can't manifest, either through your own effort, but most probably through the efforts of a team that you're able to put together. Somebody throw that in the comments. Team, T-E-A-M, together each achieves more. And then give me a share if you believe that. Give me a share if you believe that. Together each achieves more. And then give me a share if you believe that. So let's look at the 7 elements of putting together an incredible team. Y'all ready? First comes the right people. Yesterday we were talking about how, you know, you got your starters, right? And then you got your bench, right? And you're trying to get your bench to become starters. And then you got your inner circle. You're trying to get your starters to move up to your inner circle. Well, that's kind of like a clue right there. That's why I hope you understand these trainings kind of tie in together, right? Because this is what I want you to put in your power notes. If you're amassing a team of the right people, one of them is going to be an excellent leader. This is the person who has experience leading groups. This is the person who's been a part of groups and not always from a leadership perspective, right? So they understand team dynamics, right? They've been a part of groups in a non-leadership role. They know how to work long, hard hours. Appreciate that, Alicia. They know how to overcome challenges. They know that this too shall pass. Let me tell you something about a leader, especially if you're trying to get someone to come underneath your leadership. One of the main things that you need to know how to do as a leader is paint the vision. Like, hey, I'm about to run this thing up to $50,000 a month. Or, hey, I'm about to run this thing up to $100,000 a month. People are attracted to that. Even if you're saying you ain't going to do it until 3 years from now. Even if you're saying you ain't going to make it until 4 years from now. Can I get everybody who considers himself a leader to throw a goal in the comments that you know will attract people to follow you? Let me see you put a magnetic goal in the comments if you know you have the capacity to be an excellent leader. What is your goal? Maybe your goal is $100,000 a month. Maybe your goal is to impact 10,000 families in the next 3 years. But give me a specific, measurable, quantifiable goal right now. Here's the second thing that you need: an excellent assistant leader. Your team is going to need a second in command, right? This is the one that's a trusted advisor, right? This is the one who's probably like one of the more popular team members. They should be able to fill the role of leader, but they should also be able to fill the role of subordinate. Think about it. If you're the CEO, then this assistant leader is probably your COO, or it's probably your CMO or your CFO. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Yeah, Donna, I like that. 10,000 a month. I like that. I like that. What are some of your specific goals? Don't be scared. You're in a safe place, baby. Put your specific goal and then share this on your timeline. I dare you. Put your specific goal and then share this thing on your timeline. Here's a third person that you need on your team. You need a middle manager type, right? You could consider them the team sergeant. He's the one that holds everybody together. She's the one that's determined to fulfill the team's goals. She might be the one that reminds the assistant leader and the leader what the goals were. They might work harder than everybody else while staying positive. This might be that middle management type. And then last but not least, When you're talking about number one, the right people, you need the soldiers, baby. Every good team needs an army of soldiers. These are the people that are willing to work hard. These are the people that trust in the goals of the entire team. They want to grow. They want to do their best. Yeah, let me see those goals, Daryl. Let me see those goals. Let's go, Michelle. Let me see those goals. See, these are leaders, y'all. These are people that you want to follow their timeline and all of that. These are leaders. Am I making sense? Here's the second thing you need, y'all. You need commitment. The second element to building a better team is commitment. Everybody on the team needs to believe in and commit to the mission, to the vision, to the purpose of your business. Once that leader has created the vision and the mission and the purpose for the business, now we need commitment. It's vital. If you don't have commitment, you really don't have nothing. Each team member has to be able to set aside his personal goals for the larger goal that benefits the whole. This is how 1 + 1 starts to equal 11. Am I making sense to somebody out there? Check it out. Here's the third thing you need: communication. Here's the third thing you need: communication. Communication, y'all. Check it out. You have to create an environment where your team members feel okay sharing their points of view. They got to be okay sharing their thoughts and their feelings without fear of repercussions, right? You want to create this environment where communication can be open. If a team member makes a mistake, do you make them feel crucified, right? Do you make them feel less than, or do you celebrate the fact that they were brave enough to share an idea, that they were brave enough to bust a move? Am I making sense to somebody out there? Communication has to be strong enough to be able to handle even mistakes in an acceptable manner. Let's go, Keisha. What's those goals? We still accepting goals, y'all. Throw them goals out there and then share it. The more you repeat it, the more it becomes the path of least resistance in your subconscious mind. If you understand what I'm talking about. Listen to me. Listen, you better write it and make it plain. You better write it and make it plain, because this is communication. Does that make sense? I want you to practice communicating the kind of vision that becomes magnetic to people that are looking for leadership. And good communication is one of those things that once it exists, now team members trust each other enough to throw ideas out there, right? Now they trust each other enough to spend time trying to figure out why this person created that idea. What are they trying to get at? What are some things I can add on to that? Communication depends on trust. And when you make a commitment to communication, now your team can provide and accept constructive criticism, because they know it's all about the common goal. They know that when we win, we all gonna win. We know a rising tide lifts every boat in the bay. Let's go 10,000 a month. And this is my challenge to some of you. My challenge to some of you is to create a goal so big for yourselves that other people can see their goals within it. Some of you aren't setting big enough goals, and that's why you're not able to create a leadership magnet. You're not able to attract people to your leadership because your goals still sound so personal, right? There's no way I can hit 100,000 a month without creating a bunch of people that make 10,000 a month, a bunch of people that make 20,000 a month. Am I making sense? There's no way I can build $1 billion company without creating a bunch of millionaires, a bunch of multimillionaires. Am I making sense to you? But you've got to be sure that you are communicating this. You know, there's this story I'll be telling about the farmer and the bird. Y'all stop me if y'all heard this, right? Like the farmer comes home and you know, after this long hunting trip, and you know, he had just brought home this amazing bird. And then, you know, he would always bring home exotic birds and stuff, or he would sell them on the way home, et cetera, so forth. But he was a hunter of fine birds. That's what he would do, right? So he comes home one day and he smells the mac and cheese. He smells the sweet potatoes, right? He walks in the door, and there on top of the stove, his wife done cooked the bird. He was like, oh, Lord, baby, this bird could speak a dozen languages. This bird could fly around and change colors. This bird knew how to draw water from the well. And then the farmer's wife was like, well, baby, if the bird could do all that, the bird should have spoke up. So what am I saying? I'm saying if you ain't got communication, your goose is cooked. Boom. All right, moving right along. Number 4 is complementary strengths. Complementary strengths. My goal is 1,000 a month. All right, check this out. Miss Deborah, I'm going to challenge you to create a better, I love you. I'm going to challenge you to create a bigger goal than that. If your goal is $1,000 a month, it's going to be hard for you to tell me that and me want to follow you. You know why? Because if you only want to make $1,000 a month and I'm under your leadership, what can I make? 500? What am I do with 500 a month? You know, buy groceries, right? When bread is $8 a loaf. I'm just joking with you, Miss Deborah, but I'm also being serious. I want you to grow that goal a little bit. Somebody say, let's grow. Somebody say, let's grow. Here's the fourth one with your team, right? You need complementary strengths. You need to be creating a vibe where 1 + 1 = 11. Like we're talking about the makeup of your team, but it's worth mentioning that you also want the team members to complement each other. Like you might have one soldier who's real good at IT. You might have another soldier who's really good at crunching numbers. You might have another soldier who's really good at sales, but then another one who's really good at marketing. One of them might be really good at making TikTok videos. Another one might be really good at creating these eloquent, articulate Facebook posts. You need them all. What we need to do is start celebrating our differences, because that's when differences become strengths. You don't need a whole team of people that's good at the same thing. You want each team member to bring a unique skill. And then when the skills complement each other, 1 + 1 = 11. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Here's the fifth one, shared values. Somebody say number 5 is shared values. Let's get it. Number 5 is shared values. Shared values. What are we talking about, y'all? When we say shared values, we're saying you shouldn't overlook the importance of making sure that everybody's values are aligned. Like if our values are inspiration and education and opportunity, then what you're going to find is that people that come along with that same vibration are naturally going to gel. And this is how you build a cohesive team. But you got to, again, communicate those values. You got to make sure that those values are commonplace. You got to make sure that all these values on top of that are tied in to an impeccable work ethic, a no drama attitude, some kind of drive to impact the world, some kind of social impact. Let's go, Miss Deborah. Now that's more like it. $1,000 a day, $1,000 a day. That's what she meant to say, y'all, or $30,000 a month. I ain't mad at that. Check it out, y'all. Those shared values are a biggie. Here's number 6. Here's number 6, cooperation. Now you would think that that goes without saying since this is Ujima, since today is all about collective work and responsibility. But I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. If you're going to have a great team, it's going to depend on their ability to cooperate. It's going to depend on their ability to work together. You hear what I'm saying to you? There are a couple team behaviors that you should write down in your notes that'll help you build this. If you really want to get serious about building your team this week, here's what I dare you look at. How's the follow through, right? Do team members trust that when this person says they're going to do something, they'll do it? What's the follow through like? Huh? Here's the second one, accuracy. Accuracy. Each person's accuracy affects the whole group as a whole, because a chain is only strong as its weakest link. Is that fair? Here's the third one, creativity. This is what drives the team. This is what increases productivity. This is what increases innovation, right? Number 4, timeliness. Timeliness. Do you have an urgency bias? Or are you like, I can get to it next week. I can get to it next month. I can get to it next year. And then before you know, that dream is dead, right? Procrastination is the dream killer. Do you see people moving with timeliness? And then here's number 5, can't leave this one out, spirit. Team spirit. A team is a family, right? That means even during conflict, we got to retain that spirit, huh? Who on your team has the spirit? You know, you might want to start showing them a little bit more love, because whether you know it or not, they probably some of the glue that's holding that thing together, huh? And then speaking of glue that holds it all together, number 7, y'all, is conflict management. You got to be okay with healthy conflict. Check it out. Your great team is made up of a bunch of humans. And let me tell you something about people. People be peopling. You know what I mean? So you can expect some conflict, especially if there's some people that are passionate around here. This is where you got to remember that differences are cool. This is where you got to remember, as a leader of the team by position or a leader of the team by disposition, your job is to remember differences are okay. And like we just now said, differences should actually be celebrated. But what's going to define your team is how those differences get handled, y'all. Was this helpful? Was this helpful? So what we're saying is these 7 elements can change everything for you. I said you got to pick the right people, right? Then after that, we said you got to make sure everybody is committed to something. Then after that, you got to make sure that you have a communication sort of vibration running through that thing. Then we said you need to look for the complementary strengths. Then after that, we talked about shared values a little bit, and maybe there's some things in there that you may want to write down in your notes. Then number 6, we talked about cooperation, right? And then number 7, we said conflict management, healthy conflict. I dare you, jot down your favorite of these 7. And by favorite, I don't mean the one you already got nailed, because you don't get rich from what you know. You get rich from what you learn. So when I say your favorite, I dare you pick out your favorite of the 7, AKA the one you need to work on the most on your team or within yourself as a leader, right? Some of you didn't put your goals in yet. Maybe you start with creating a goal that'll become magnetic to somebody that's looking to change their life. Because if they ain't looking to change their life, maybe that's not even the right teammate for you. But if they are, now it's time for you to ask yourself, are you putting out the kind of vibration they will want to follow? I dare you. Pick out your favorite, put this on your timeline, and we all gonna hold you accountable. I'm glad you made it in, Arsenio. Let's get it. All right, it's affirmation time. Y'all ready? If your phone line tries to charge you, don't trip. Just text message, call me to the same number. Text message, call me to 667-776-9461. You're immediately going to hear my mentor come on. He's going to greet you. And just like that, you're on the winner's hotline. 667-776-WIN1. Repeat after me, millionaires. Say it like you mean it now. Take your cool off. Put some emotion in that thing. And go like this. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me easily and